Hey gang, I'm making a little first look at my this is definitely a work in progress, but this is my my second car, and it's definitely going to be a car that's going to work. It's not going to be just a toy for nice sunny days, which are kind of rare here in southeastern Wisconsin. But this is the first look at my car I bought a couple months ago now, a 79 MGB. And it's definitely a work in progress. It was originally a California car for most of its life until about 4 years ago. Then I guess a guy brought it over here to Wisconsin. Then a guy bought it from him, supposedly for his wife, and put some money into it and some dubious work by himself, and I'll explain that later. But he did take it to a professional who knows MGBs, and he had some work done on it, and I've had some work done on it from the same guy, who specializes in working on MGs. But I'll show you things that aggravate me. This is kind of a successor video to two videos I made. One was the steering wheel, the vintage steering wheel video. And then on my other vlog channel, called What's Up With That, and what's is with a Z. What's up with that? I talked about my annoyances, and I'm gonna show you some annoyances related to people who try to fix things on cars. Okay. But without further ado, I'll kind of show you a quick tour, and I'll show you some stuff I've done to this car too since I bought it. Body wise, it's got some dents and scratches on some of the panels. It's the original unrestored car. I bought this carpet kit, trunk carpet kit. As you can see, things that I'm always going to keep in here: bungee cords, fire extinguisher, extra oil, toolbox with basic tools, stuff like that. Interior. Here's the steering wheel. Said it looks really nice now. It's just a great experience holding this wheel and driving this car. All this stuff was added by the former owner. These are these kind of cosmetic looking walnut dash panels. He had a stereo put in, but he had one of those crummy black, what they call a rubber ducky kind of antenna, and I took that out and I bought this one. But this wasn't the original one I bought. I bought one from another company, but it was too cheap. It had a cheap plastic threaded shaft that ended up getting stripped out kind of easily if you over tightened it, and I didn't like that. So I took that one out, and the reception wasn't that good for some reason. So I bought this one off an eBay seller. And this is really nice because you have like a little thing that you can stick like a little key in here, and then you can put it all the way down. So you can, because I keep this under a cover. I don't have a garage, but I replaced that. I got these rubber mats too. There was some good, decent carpeting, re-carpeted under here. Wiring under here is kind of a cluster, you know what. I'm gonna try to fix this a little better, tuck it under better, because I bought some of these kind of like panels. There's like panels under here that are like, they were kind of like some kind of cardboard composition that were taken off a long time ago. And I got some other panels, but they have to be kind of like trimmed in a certain way to fit, and I'm going to try to fit them with Velcro strips or whatever to try to neaten things up so that you can actually see the hood pull. It was actually blocked. When I first bought this car, I was looking, so where's the hood pull, and it was blocked by all this crappy wiring here. So that's a fix coming up. Let me pull the hood. Oh, I already had the hood pulled here. I'll just raise it up, because I'm going to show you some more sins that were committed against this car from the former owner or owners, I don't know. This is a 79 that was kind of converted to dual carbs because it no longer needs the emission controls. It's old enough so that it's exempt from emission testing. But like all this wiring here, I had to have this guy, this professional guy. He helped neaten up all this wiring, because before all these things were not even mounted the way they were supposed to be, and in fact the thermostat fans were not running when the engine reached a certain temperature. The former owner had wired this up wrong, and I actually had a couple close overheatings. So I had him straighten that out, and he wired this correctly so that this actually, the fans actually go on now. Another thing, I almost had it, was almost stranded when there was air in the clutch system, and I wasn't able to get it like into gear. It was getting harder and harder, and he had a trailer, and he towed it to his shop, and he bled the system, and now it's running fine. The only other real engine work I've done on it really is I've replaced new spark plugs, oil change, oil filter, and the guy I bought this car from, didn't seem concerned about when I asked him about what kind of octane fuel. I've been running it on premium because when I first test drove the car, there was a lot of running on after you turned off the ignition, and this guy was not really a car guy to be sure. I mean, he supposedly bought this car for his wife, but his wife didn't want to drive a stick shift car, and this guy lives in my area. I mean, he lives literally in my neighborhood. I hope I don't have to run into him, because I might have to give him a piece of my mind about a few things. And what I mean is that in my video about annoyances, I talked about this mirror, and he had like two different screws. One was like a machine screw, and the other was like a sheet metal screw, and it stripped out this receiver. This is like one of the safety mirror. So I found two screws myself that are pretty much correct, and put that on. But I find other things too. Like for this trim, I'm finding that stupid stuff like this, like these screws are not good. In fact, this is coming loose. I mean, this trim, because you look at these screws here, they're slotted screws, and then when you walk around, and then you'll see like screws like this. These look much better. So I'm gonna have to find out, you know, what are the best screws or whatever. At least I'll get some stuff that, see, here's some goofy slotted ones here. I mean, it's just so cheesy. To me, that's a sin committed against a classic sports car there. So, but other than that, it's got like it's only got about 58,000 original miles there. Yeah, well, 59,000 there. And it more I drive it, the better it's running. So it drives great. Like I said, it just needs a lot of TLC and things like that. And I've been driving it with the top down today. Haven't had many top down days. Stereo works great. Of course, it's a noisy car. I mean, but I like AM radio, and that antenna gives great reception. So I'd say all in all, for what I paid for this car, it's in pretty good, pretty decent shape. A lot of stuff's been replaced. It has new exhaust. These are not real wire wheels, obviously. They're kind of like a simulated wire look wheel there. But people, they see this car and they really like it. They say, hey, I like that car. It's really neat, and you know, stuff like that. It's a real icebreaker, conversation starter. Some other quick fixes here. I had a cracked lens and a broken bulb in here, and nice thing about a car like this, you can get replacement stuff like this pretty cheap. In fact, I even bought these little chrome surrounds for the backup lights. Here's a quick view with the top up. Cautionary tale, early in the spring I drove this to work, and then when I worked third shift, and there was actually it was early in the spring and we had a frost in the morning, and I stupidly, not thinking, I actually scraped the frost off with a scraper, and I put some scratches or whatever in this window, but I was able to remove most of them with a polishing, this Plastic X cleaner with like a buffing wheel on my cordless drill. So I kind of like redeemed my stupidity there. So I'm saying, you know, don't do that. These windows are so soft. In fact, I'm under this awful tree that gives off kinds of pollen and crap, and it even got on this window, and it was hard to get that crap off too. I got most of it off. My other car here is relentlessly bombarded by this evil tree, and I keep washing the thing, but this car definitely is going to end up needing a repaint anyway. But another little thing I added quickly, I bought these nice little kind of tasteful stainless steel sill panels there. But like I said, here's a look with it's very cozy, and but you know, I'm 5'11", but I still fit in here pretty nicely. So I really enjoy driving this car, all in all. And like I said, it's definitely a work in progress there. So all in all, I guess I'm happy with it. But like I said, when you have nice days now coming in the spring, you really want to drive and enjoy it. You don't want to do endless tinkering right away. At least not I don't, you know. But another thing I'm going to have to look into is I'm going to have to find a pit area or a storage shed or whatever, because I'm obviously not going to drive this in the winter. So I'm hoping I can procure something like that pretty soon. So with that, I'll say goodbye for now. And like I said, this is definitely a work in progress, and I'm enjoying it. You know, it's just that you know, it's kind of frustrating in my climate here to use this car the way most people want to use it. So with all that out of the way, I'd say bye for now. Goodbye.